Welcome back to Stories, volume number 4 for 2023. Let's take a look at what was documented here. All right, so starting out, we have, this is an old page. I made this one a while ago. It just made its way into a book, but this is about deciding where we were going to go on vacation. And so these were all the places that we had considered. I made this little booklet with Carrie Bradford stamps, the background, the Wonderfar, all of that was on one stamp set. Love that stamp set. Love that travel stamp set. And then a little gold letter D for our last name, Damiano. And then we have our little book. And these were the places that we were throwing out there. We haven't made it to Positano or Barcelona yet, but it's definitely on the list for soon. We actually did make it to Hawaii. That's where we decided to go. And El Yunque in Puerto Rico is somewhere we'll probably go next year. I have been having this longing to go home. I am half Puerto Rican and I've spent a lot of my childhood summers there. And yeah, can't wait to go back. All right, so that's like my little passport. And I used an old, I think this came from like Michael's or something, the map paper I've had forever. I love map paper. I have a big collection of it too. I don't use it that much. The elastic band kind of holds this. I may need to sort of glue that down at some point. Or actually, you know what? I'm just going to paper clip it so that then I can get it in and out when I want to. All right, the next one is about the first signs of spring. And I know it's spring when my husband puts out the bird feeder. I love that bird feeder. I don't like the squirrels that come to eat our bird food, but that's a different page. Anyway, this is using Fancy Pants. I forget what line it was, but I'll link it down below. The pattern paper was so perfect for the story. I used the pattern paper, broke it up with a little bit of wood grain, like I've been doing a lot. The gingham paper creates sort of a pocket for the tag and the little bird. I had this nest die cut that came from Fancy Pants from the same collection. I think I got the whole collection kit. That's why you see so much of it in some of these travelers' notebooks. And then the pinking shears just added that, just that little bit of, I don't know, it looks like fabric to me. So that's why I used that, the pinking shears to cut off the end there. The date, and then here in the center, this is a sticker. The Signs of Spring is a chipboard. And then I just needed one little thing to make it stand out a little bit. And so I used some enamel dots just to go halfway around. I started to go all the way around and it kind of became too much. So I peeled them off and left it halfway. And that's just personal preference, the way I liked it. On the picture in Photoshop, I made this circle. So I made a pink circle, overlaid a white circle, and then the text on top. And printed it out. And then to give it a little bit of texture, because I don't like things that are completely flat or completely digital, it's just not my style, I added the, let me see if I can bring it up. I added an enamel dot to hold down the string. And so it looks like the birdhouse is hanging from my story. And then this is a little raffia, or raffia? I don't know how to say that, bow that I found in my stash. This one is very stamping heavy. I think I made this one for Studio Calico and used one of their alphabets and all of their inks to do snorkeling and the little suns. And then I stacked this title on top. A little strip of one of their patterns, a transparency also from Studio Calico from one of their kits, and 3 little pictures, and that's it. This one came together pretty easily. This is probably what took the most time, sort of matching up these colors to this pattern. I'm not sure if I did that great of a job, but I tried. And then I love this picture of Nico, and I like the little sort of, I used probably a tiny circle punch, and then I just put the heart right there. Little tiny detail. Next, this was Carrie Bradford, so I used one of her alphabets to create this background, summer, summer, summer repeated. Super simple. And then just created a pocket for some journaling. Had a little story about this weekend and Nico coming out with us. He doesn't do that very often anymore, so that's what the story was about. And then I had this picture just of the walkway to the beach. It was a pretty picture, but I wanted to add the people because a lot of this story had to do with Nico being there with us. And so I just overlaid a 3x4 of us right on top. I used some archival ink to stamp weekend, got that weekend feeling. This is also Carrie Bradford. And then W for weekend, and bringing over a little bit of the blue. Again, if I take this away, this is fine the way it is, but adding that W and those two little things, I think that's the interesting detail of the layout. This one I did for Studio Calico. This one makes me laugh. He's always teasing her. He still does. They are, they're 17 and 18 now. I could take the same picture today. So that was me documenting that little story. And I came across this really old picture. And yes, there are mixes of ages and times. Him here and him here. I like that. I like to look at books like that, and I like to make books like that. So again, no chronology whatsoever. This one I did for Ellie Studio. Love these colors. I love this paper. I usually don't like purple, but I like it in this instance. And then I like how it matched the photo and the feel of the photo. And that's kind of been our sunsets at sunrise and sunsets. We've been getting some amazing sunrises and sunsets. I'm definitely there for more sunsets than sunrises, honestly, but I've seen a handful and they're pink. And yeah, so just sort of documenting what our yard looks like in the summer and my favorite spot with some really bold color palette that I can't take credit for because this was designed by Ellie. This is an old picture about Atlantis. I found this old picture on my camera roll and I loved it, of the 3 kids snorkeling. So my story is hidden in here. This one looks a lot like a different one I did. I've been doing these tags sort of sewn together, sort of staggered tags. I think I've done this design like 3 times now, and it's just something that I enjoy, and I like the layered look of it. So at the bottom, the pink, then the next layer was the leaf cut with the pinking shears. I've also been having a good time with my pinking shears, if you haven't noticed. A black and white, because you need the contrast to break all of this up. And then the last one is my focal point tag, I guess you could say. So these are metal rim tags from an office supply store. I stuck a chipboard, letter A, and then I stamped the get wet and embossed it with white embossing powder so I could get some contrast on that bright pink. All the colors came from this pattern paper. This is Pink Fresh. And then right here, I just stamped the best day here on a long strip of cardstock, of white cardstock, and then just slid it under there just to underline. I felt like I needed words, but I didn't want to go across. And I have my story here, and I didn't want to add more words for it, you know. I didn't have anything else to say, I guess. So that's why I added the text on the side. This one is for Studio Calico. Super simple. Loved this washi tape. That's where the design started from, and this rainbow. And then I added everything else. So started with the washi, then I moved over here and sort of did the title to match the photo that I had chosen, which is about me by the pool, creating my own sunshine because June was so cold and dreary and rainy. I was wearing Uggs in June. That's pretty bad when the pool is open. Yeah, so that's where the title came from, right from my cup and from the story. I did it with alphabet stickers. The everything's going to be okay was pre-printed, so I didn't do that. I just kind of followed the line of that and added that. So if I take this away, this is what this kind of looked like. It was really super plain, just the 3 stripes and this everything's going to be okay. And then the dressing up is in the things that I added. Alpha stickers, the 2023, the 2 little starburst lines, and then a little layering of a die cut, a puffy sticker, and another die cut. And that's it. And then this one, oh, I went a little nuts. So this one, like I was saying, I do this design. Oh, I don't have another example of it. Okay, must have been another book. I do this design all the time, this collaging of things. I like this design a lot. I get to use lots of colors and lots of things and lots of textures. This one might have gone a little away from me. This is a little bit much, but I kind of like the overall of it. What I like about it is the ombre, that it starts with yellow, different shades of yellow, and then it comes down to orange. And then I followed that through. That probably came right from the tablecloth. I'm so original with my ideas. It came right from the tablecloth. And then I continued on this side by using 3x4 journaling cards. So I used a sunburst pattern and then this orange and soaking this up. This is really simple and clean, and then this is just a lot. But these are so fun to create. I'll have to do, I don't know, something about showing how I come up with those designs and how to get them to balance out, which is actually the most difficult part. I've had different ones that I've made that I like better than this one. This one's a little much, but still like it. Still glad that the story is there. And that's it for, this is storybook number 4. I have not bound this with my bookbinding tool, but I will work on that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your comments. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.